Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, join me, Rob McConnell, as together we'll investigate the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology here on the X-Zone Radio TV show on XZBN and the X-Zone TV channel on Simul TV. Since 1990, the X-Zone Radio TV show has been the place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. Together, we'll investigate UFOs, aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, psychic phenomena, lake monsters, conspiracy theories, government cover-ups, the truth embargo, alien abductions, ESP, haunted locations from around the world, and so much more. With over 28 years of broadcasting and more than 4,500 individual guests, the X-Zone is truly a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality, as evidenced by the credibility, integrity, and professionalism of the guests that we bring to our international audience. If you have seen a UFO, had a close encounter, seen a ghost, Bigfoot, lake monster, or a story that you would like to share or have investigated, contact me, Rob McConnell, by sending me your email to xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, or you can call toll-free 1-800-610-7035, extension 143, and on Skype, X-Zone Radio TV. For more information on the X-Zone Radio TV show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, visit www.xzoneradiotv.com or www.xzonetvchannel.com or simultv.com and xzbn.net. Until next we meet here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center and studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, always remember, X-Zone Nation, keep your eyes to the sky and your heart in the light.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Paranormal Stakeout. I'm Larry Lawson, your host and guide on our continuing journey into the unknown to determine what really does exist on the other side of reality as we know it. And tonight to join us on this quest is Mr. Michael Fox of the Fox Family Paranormal Society out of Georgia. Michael's got about over 30 years actually of paranormal research and investigative experience, and in 2013, along with his wife Destiny, created the Fox Family Paranormal Society. The goal of the FFPS is to help those having paranormal activity in their homes or businesses either learn to live with the spirits or somehow help them find the light and go to the other side. Michael Fox, welcome to Paranormal Stakeout, my friend.
Glad to be here with you tonight.
Fox Family Paranormal Society. This kind of hits home for me for a couple reasons that I'll touch on. It's a family, is it? I mean, is it blood family, or is it just what you call it?
Oh, it's quite a bit blood family. It's consisted of myself, my wife, my daughter, and we have a niece that we're training to be an investigator.
Uh-huh.
And we have some team members that aren't blood related, but they're part of the family. They're like family. We call them brothers and sisters.
I can totally understand that. How 30 years? That's a long time. That's even before it became vogue to be involved in paranormal investigations. What got you into the field?
Actually, what got me into the field was I had my own paranormal experience as a young teenager. My parents had moved to the Midwest, and they had bought a old Midwestern house, 2-story house, and I started having some experiences upstairs in the bedroom that I had. It got to the point, the bed would vibrate and slide across the room.
And how old were you at the time, you said? 13?
Probably closer to 15.
Okay. Nothing happened prior to that?
No, I've never had any experience prior to that.
Okay.
But my family's always been interested in the unknown and paranormal. Actually, as a small child, growing up in North Carolina, my parents would take me out. We would go out and check out cemeteries all the time.
Oh, your parents would?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. That's pretty interesting. So it's age 15. You have this experience. Where did you go to from there? What road did you travel, so to speak?
Well, at that age, I really didn't understand what was happening, so I kind of moved out of that room and spent my last few years sleeping on the couch downstairs.
Okay. And
But
when did you start actually trying to find out what this whole thing was?
after I got a little bit older, when I got in about in my early 20s, like 20, 21 years old, um, I was in the military out of school, and somebody talked to me about paranormal investigating. And I said, well, that sounds interesting. Maybe I could get some answers what happened to me.
Mm-hmm. And where did you go from there? Start a team, joined a team?
Well, actually, what I started from that point is I started reading a lot of books on it, checking out a lot of the history behind it, and I started realizing there was a lot of famous people that was, over many years that was into the paranormal or believed in the paranormal, and
Mm-hmm.
so that caught my interest too. And when I got out of the military, I actually joined a team and worked my way up to a director of a team from that point.
Oh, okay. And that where in the Midwest was this?
In Missouri.
Oh, okay, okay. So you get out of the military. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you.
And you begin to investigate. Like a lot of us that got into this, there was no formal training in any of this. Most of it was self-taught. But you got most of your experience through reading, through practical experience.
Hmm.
You were in Missouri for a while. Then where'd you head to from there?
I actually, I was working with the team in Missouri for a few years, and then my I had a niece that lived out in California. Her and her husband actually was running a paranormal team, so it's kind of been in the family for a long time, and I just didn't
Gotcha.
realize it.
Uh-huh.
And they asked me if I would open up a chapter of their group in the Midwest. So I started running their chapter for about 4 or 5 years, and then I moved to Alabama, Montgomery, because somebody there is running a paranormal team. Asked me if I'd come down, be their director, and help teach his people a little more of the scientific side of running, the equipment, taking
Mm-hmm.
EVPs and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then from Alabama, I moved to Georgia, and then eventually my wife and I decided to start our own team.
Oh, okay. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Did you have a mentor? Did you have a mentor at all? Anybody that you kind of emulated their philosophies or tactics or anything like that?
Not really. I just kind of took a little bit from everybody I met in the paranormal, in the early years, and I tried to utilize what other investigators were doing across the country and incorporating it into my style,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually just kind of developed my own style of investigating.
Okay. All right. And like I said, that's the way a lot of us started. There was really nothing formal, and uh, I'm really hoping that can change, that we can start becoming more formalized in some of our training and education. That way, folks following behind us will have maybe a little bit more solid foundation than we did. That's my thoughts
Oh,
anyway.
yeah, absolutely. That would be, an ideal scenario if we could do that, where people could actually learn
Hmm.
from, things we've done in the past.
Exactly. Now we're all the way up into Georgia. Now, where about is Temple, Georgia? You're in Temple, correct?
Yeah, I'm in Temple, Georgia, which we're about 40 miles west of Atlanta.
Okay. And you begin Fox Family Paranormal. You mentioned that your son and your daughter joined you in on the team, correct?
My daughter and my niece is
Okay.
on the team here,
Okay.
and my wife. And I've
Well,
had some of my first cousins have joined us a few times, but right now it's just mainly my wife and my daughter and my niece and myself and a few team members that we brought on to help out.
okay. Your daughter, how old was she when you began to allow her to investigate?
Well, she actually did not get into it until she was probably 29 or 30.
Oh, okay. So not as a child.
No.
Okay. That was one question I wanted to ask you, because in my team I've brought both of my boys in it, and we brought them in. I brought them in probably around 13, and their mother was not all that happy with me about that. And
Yeah.
it was kind of a dicey situation. Is this something that you want to really introduce to somebody that age? And if you do, how do you do it in such a way that it doesn't skew their thinking, so to speak? Uh, any thoughts on that on your end?
Actually, we've been doing a little bit of that. We started what we call a junior team for Fox Family, and a friend of ours wanted us to take on her son. And we've been using him, but we don't take him on a lot of investigations. We kind of pick and choose what we'll take him on, because some things that we get in, I feel like it's a little more too in depth for him.
Sure. And I've taken a couple hits from that. I'll be honest with you. When my boys were young, of course, now they're in one's 19, one's 21, so they're much older now. But
Yeah.
it can be a touchy thing to bring somebody in that young, A, because they haven't really matured yet, and B, how is this really going to affect them? Fortunately, I don't see too many side effects beyond the norms for somebody that age with both the boys, but I just wasn't sure how old your family members were when you brought them in. But you do have younger ones. Does anybody
Yeah, we
question
have a
you about
junior team that we've been running for about 2 years now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That we use young people. I mean, we're talking 13, 14, 15-year-old kids that
Right.
are interested in the paranormal, and we work with them. We bring them over here. We talk to them about the equipment. We have taken them on smaller investigations.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the places we go to have age requirements, especially formal places like we did Sloss Furnace here a couple of years ago in Alabama, and they had a 18 and older regulation for us to bring anybody in.
Right. With your younger team members, have you experienced any particular issues with them working with your team, or this affecting them at all?
No, they work really well with the team when we bring the young ones in, and they're really learning. They're really real open-minded to what we're telling them and trying to help them with, and they're learning how to do proper EVP sessions and time their questions and give plenty of time for response.
Okay, good. That's that training that I'm talking about, helping folks grow from the bottom up. And that's kind of our take also with the younger folks, not to influence them to believe any particular way, but rather how to do this in a responsible and ethical way. The philosophy of our group, for example, is that we're looking for answers, and wherever the evidence takes us is where we're going to head, because nobody really knows what does exist on the other side. So when we get back in just a couple of minutes after this next break, Michael, I'd love to talk to you more about your team and what you guys do, the equipment you use. So everybody stay with us. I want to remind you, this is Michael Fox of Fox Family Paranormal Society. You can find them on Facebook at Fox Family Paranormal FFPS. So stay with us, folks. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes on Paranormal Stakeout.
It's hard to listen to the news without realizing we're living in volatile, unprecedented times. Yet never has there been such an opportunity to transform the human condition. As old structures fail, where can we find the guidance to co-create a better way? Find Your Path Home is an ever-evolving, leading-edge information, education, and healing resource center designed to support and guide you on your path to unity and enlightenment. Based on sound principles employed by shaman worldwide, we provide techniques that can support you through the current transitions, offering online shamanic classes, international long-distance shamanic healing sessions, complimentary Mission Evolution radio episodes and Stairway to Heaven TV vignettes, seminars, retreats, and much more. All of this can be found on findyourpathhome.com.
So I was watching the X Zone TV channel last night when I was abducted by aliens, and they kept repeating to me over and over again, simultv.com, simultv.com.
What's simultv.com?
That's what I asked them. They had it written on the side of their UFO.
How do you spell that?
UFO.
No, I mean simultv.com.
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 Right. simultv.com.
Interesting that you were abducted by aliens in a simultv.com UFO last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember now last night I was awakened from a deep sleep. My great-grandmother was standing there. She said she'd come from the hereafter to tell me about simultv.com. She even spelled it out for me. simultv.com, sonny boy.
simultv.com.
simultv.com, sonny boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, you'll never guess what my psychic guru just told me.
simultv.com.
Exactly. Are you guys psychic too?
Of course.
We all know about simultv.com. simultv.com.
And we are back on Paranormal Stakeout with my guest tonight, Michael Fox of Fox Family Paranormal Society out of Temple, Georgia. Michael, interesting conversation on getting young people involved in the field, and I really think that done responsibly, that could be a big part of our future. So I'm glad to hear you have that junior team. We actually have a few of ourselves. We have 3 youngsters on our team that we're using kind of in the same way you are. But I'd like to talk to you a little bit about your team's philosophy. What's the goal of FFPS?
Well, of course, our main goal is to gather information for ourselves, too, on finding information on the paranormal or what's on the other side and why it's happening. And if, when you cross over, are you in control or is something else in control of them?
Mm-hmm.
And then also our other number one goal is to help our clients when we do private investigations deal with whatever they're going through and help them either understand it or, help them, cleanse their home and where they can have a normal life again.
Yeah, and that's the tough part. Two distinct but important philosophies there. What do you think a ghost is, Michael? What is your opinion of what this entity is?
Well, I think, I kind of agree with Albert Einstein did a thesis years ago. He talked about, when this carbon body disintegrated and no longer existed, we were made up of energy, and energy just always continues.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, a ghost is the energy of somebody that used to walk the earth as a human being, and now it's evolved into another state.
Okay, and this other state. So essentially, it's the essence of us is residual energy.
Yes.
If I got that right. Okay. What do you think? Where do you think it is that they're existing? Are they existing in the same plane we are, just in a different form? Are they in a different plane? What are your thoughts there?
After the years I've been doing it, I've come to believe that they exist in a different plane, but they have the ability at some point to cross over into our reality.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they go back and forth.
Okay. Difference between a residual and an intelligent haunt. And for those that are listening that may not be familiar with those terms, a residual haunt is almost as if something is being replayed as if it's on a recording. An intelligent haunt is something that actually responds back to those that are trying to make contact.
Right.
How do you take that philosophy and connect it with those two theories of intelligent or residuals?
I think when you're dealing with a residual haunting, so to speak, I think what you're seeing is energy that has been imprinted in the structure or the area that it's being haunted, and it's being recorded back like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it just keeps replaying itself because a lot of times, people will describe seeing an entity walking through the house, but it obviously, doesn't react to them standing there.
Correct.
But when you're dealing with an intelligent haunting, they are as aware of you as you are of them.
So yeah, and I guess what I'm getting at is how they're both energy, but how are they different? I mean, the intelligent one is what you described before, where they're just existing in another plane. But is that other residual one just energy that's trapped somewhere? Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, I think it's an energy that's trapped or it's looping in time. It's something dramatic had happened to a point that it imprinted itself in the time frame, and it just keeps replaying itself.
Oh, okay. Do you have I noticed that Destiny is an empath, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any other members of your team that are gifted like that?
We did have, but right now we had another lady that was working with us that was pretty gifted, but she's decided to take some time off. So right now, Destiny's the only one on the team that's empathic.
Well, empathic meaning feeling the pain or the internal strife of another.
Right.
There are many folks out there that use mediums, and I'll be honest with you, my background is in law enforcement. And I used, in many times working homicide cases, for example, had been contacted by mediums that really didn't give accurate information. And back in those days, quite frankly, I pretty much blew off their ability. And over the years, I've become a little bit more, I'll say, evolved, and I've seen some things that help me understand a little bit that perhaps there are those that have that gift. But what is your feeling on why all mediums can't give the same story?
Well, I think, you have people that think they're gifted, and you have people that was gifted, by God themselves, that were born with these abilities. And it's when I talk to somebody that's wanting to work with us that says they're psychic or an empath or a psychic medium, I'll ask a series of questions to them, trying to get a feel for, if they really, really are,
Well, how often do you come across one that is perhaps being, let's say, less than truthful, less than ethical? Do you ever come across that?
Yeah, more times than not, we do when
Really?
we're contacted by people like that. They portray themselves as having, certain abilities, and then when we talk to them a few times, and if we do use them, we kind of watch and pay attention to what they're doing. And we had a psychic one time, said we were doing an investigation, and Destiny decided to take her with us, and she got surprised by something. And Destiny said, "Well, if you were psychic, you should have already known that was going to happen."
Okay. That's interesting. That goes right along the line. If you're psychic, why can't you give me the lottery numbers, for example?
Right.
But they can't. So how do we rectify that? You've used mediums on your team. I've seen them in action. But I think that's one of the biggest problems we have in our field right now is the consistency. And what I'm trying to find out, what I'm trying to inquire from many different sources, why, if you've got two or three that are sincere, they truly are or believe that they are gifted, why aren't they giving the same story? And that's where I'm coming from. Now, that's different from somebody that's trying to con you. And it's even a little bit different from somebody that's maybe believes they're gifted and they're really not.
I think it goes back. I don't know if you've ever experienced this in your years of doing this or not, but I've been on investigations where we've used several digital recorders, and one digital recorder would get unbelievable EVPs, and the other one, it was 10 feet away, had nothing.
Right.
It was like the spirits were able to focus on whatever they wanted. They focused on that one recorder, not the other one.
Okay. Why? Why, in your opinion, did that happen?
Well, I think they pick and choose. I think they felt more comfortable with one piece of equipment versus the other piece.
Mm-hmm. See, I have a different thought on that. My thoughts are it all comes down to frequency and vibration. With equipment, we had something like that happen where we, in the town that we do a lot of work in, a place called Fellsmere, Florida, we actually had two recorders right next to each other. One of them was held by my eldest son. And a question was asked, and on both recorders, you could clearly hear him ask the question, "Is anybody here with us?" On the one that was in my son's hand, you heard a male voice say, "But of course." On the one that was sitting right next to it, you got nothing. You could hear the question asked, but you couldn't hear the answer. And once again, this is all theoretical, and I think a lot of folks need to understand all of this is theoretical because nothing's been proven yet. But I believe it does have to do with frequency and vibration. I also feel with psychics, it also has to do with frankly, the tuning of our own brains. Sometimes our own life experiences, our own education, our own backgrounds can skew how information comes out. And also there's plenty of times where folks really just aren't what they either say they are or believe they are. But just wanted to get your thoughts on that one there.
All right.
We're getting into the second half of your question now. We're running a little bit short here, so I may have to cut you off in a minute or so.
All right.
You say that you help folks in their homes and their businesses either learn to deal with the activity or rid themselves of it. Tell me how you do that.
Well, if we will try to do a house cleansing if the client wants us to. Destiny will go in with sage, and she'll anoint with oils and use sea salt and try to, ask whatever's there to either cross over or, leave.
Okay.
But a lot of times what we end up having to do is counsel the clients, well, you need to take charge of your home. This is your home, not theirs.
Okay.
If they're going to be here, you need to tell them they're only allowed to be in a certain area and they're not allowed to touch anybody.
Now, once you've done this, have you ever been unsuccessful doing it?
Yeah, we've had a few cases that we've had to go back and rework, but for the most part, most of our clients contact us back, months later and saying, everything is great. They're sleeping through the night, thanking us for, taking the time to help them.
Okay. Well, we're getting ready to take our next break here, so I'm going to put that thought on hold for a second because I got a follow-up question on that. Folks, stay with us. I'm with Michael Fox of Fox Family Paranormal Society. You can find them on Facebook at Fox Family Paranormal FFPS. So stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by Ellie Marzulli, UFO Disclosure, the 70-year cover-up exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now and receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to lamarzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net. Rob McConnell here, presenting an overview for Nicholas Paul Jennings, author of a fascinating book, Amen. It presents facts revealed by Egyptologists, facts that enable us to understand why Amen is the beginning of creation of God. It provides recommendations for religious leaders of the major religions to unify their beliefs and teach the Word of God. Love one another. Amen informs people how mankind conceived God. It was the Egyptians that developed the concepts of a soul, a hereafter, and Son of God. And finally, After the worship of many gods, they conceived the belief in one universal God, the maker of all there is. For more information, visit www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X Zone, sci-fi, and horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.
And we are back for the next round of tonight's episode with Fox Family Paranormal Society Director Michael Fox. Michael is carrying on from where we were last session here. We're talking about things that you can do for folks in their homes, and you were talking about either helping them cross over or helping them to live with it. And you've never not been unsuccessful having an entity crossover. Did I get that right?
For the most part, we've had a few cases over the years that we've had to go back and keep reworking. That it seems like the entities don't want to leave and they don't want to be, cooperative.
Mm-hmm.
But we just keep doing it again and again and again.
Do you ever worry that you can tell somebody, we'll take care of it, we can help them cross over, but then it doesn't happen? Do you ever get concerned about perhaps, or somebody say, yeah, it's fine, and then 5 weeks later they call you back and say, they're back, I thought you got rid of them? How do you deal with that?
Well, I never tell a client 100% that we can, do that. I tell them we can attempt to do that. I said a lot of times it's up to the entities whether or not they want to go.
Okay.
We can ask them to go.
Okay. As far as how you do that, you say Destiny normally is the one that leads that part of the investigation?
Yes.
Okay. And she's an empath. How does that differ from being a medium that can actually make direct contact with the other side?
Well, being an empath, she actually could feel sometimes when we have a lot of spirit activity in a location.
Mm-hmm.
She sometimes she feeds off even the entity's emotions.
Okay. Have you ever had somebody say, you told me you could help and you didn't? Has that ever happened?
No, not really.
Okay, because that's probably my biggest worry, and I'll be quite honest with you. My group does not do that. If we run into something that we think might be like that, we have other folks that we will contact. But I get very, very concerned about doing things that making promises we can't keep.
Right.
And we can't do that, and there's nobody on our team that can do that. So I get very, very concerned because I think that really harms the reputation of all of us in the field with these charlatans that get out there and say, we can do this for you, and we're here to help, and we're going to solve your problems, and they really don't. And sometimes it's just folks that mean well, and they just really don't know what they're doing, or sometimes it's charlatans that are lying.
Yeah, well, that's why we never make that promise. We always straight up with the client when I'm talking to them. I tell them, that we can attempt it, but we can't guarantee anything.
Okay, that's good. Has Destiny received any additional training on how to pass over, or is this something she's pretty well self-taught with?
Destiny is also an ordained minister.
Oh, okay, okay.
So she has been doing this even before we were married. She was an ordained minister, and she was involved in churches in Georgia and stuff. And she had been dealing with people with possessions and stuff for many years, even before I met her.
Oh, what denomination, if I may ask?
Well, she was Pentecostal. It's actually a non-denominational, but
okay. So she's been dealing. Has she ever had to do an exorcism?
yeah, she has.
That's some pretty heavy duty stuff.
Yeah.
Has she been called in to do that while you guys have been together and working together?
Well, we've had a few calls, that people think they have some type of demonic presence in their home, which I will go in. My side of it is more scientific. I go in and I try to prove or disprove a haunting. I base everything that I say on the evidence that I gather.
Okay. When you say scientific, can you explain that to me? What techniques do you use? What equipment do you use?
Well, I use the scanner. I have a millimeter I use to measure EMF waves, milligauss, see, how much energy is being put out in the area. We use
you mean milligauss? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And we use, various types of equipment. I'm really big on ITC research, so, we use a lot of ITC equipment trying to communicate, get something to say something.
I think instrumental transcommunication is going to be where the big breakthrough comes, but that's just my opinion.
Right.
Okay, go ahead. So you use ITC gear. What sort of and instrumental transcommunication, for those out there that may not know what that is, basically EVPs, and what else do you use in that area?
Well, we use we have the SP7 and we have an SP11 spirit boxes that scan the radio waves.
Okay.
And it scans at a high speed, so it's believed, if you get communication or responses to questions that are almost in sentence form, that it's almost impossible unless it's paranormal be coming across those radios.
Oh, yep. Okay. Once again, another piece of equipment I looked at was completely skeptical of until an event happened that made me look at it. You got to keep an open mind with some of these things. What sort of protocols do you set up during your investigations, as far as to keep your evidence field sterile, if you will? What are your protocols for that?
Well, of course, during EVP sessions, I tell all the investigators to talk in a normal voice, never whisper. We try to keep everyone out of the home or the building during the EVP sessions, except for the team conducting it. And we ask them, to focus on specific questions, try to identify an entity that might be in there, try to identify a time frame, and, try to get intelligent responses. Time your questions so you give the entities plenty of time to respond between questions. Don't just pop off a line of questions and expect the entity to say, okay, for number one, I did this. Number two, I did this.
Yeah. Just for the folks out there, why do you tell folks? You're supposed to be quiet during an EVP session. Why would you tell them to talk in a normal voice?
That way, when I'm reviewing it, if I hear a whisper, I know that I need to pay attention to that whisper, and it's not one of my investigators.
Okay, got it. Very good. How long do you do your EVP sessions, electronic voice phenomenon sessions with a recorder? How long do you do each session?
Well, I've been limiting them to about 15 to 20 minutes per session. But sometimes when there's a lot of activity, the sessions will go a lot longer, almost 30 minutes.
Ooh, that's tough reviewing.
Yes. But I try to keep them down to 15 minutes. I tell them to do 15-minute interval sessions.
Okay. What any other piece of equipment that you use that you find particularly successful in your investigations?
We use a DVR system. We have 2 DVRs we run. We have an 8-camera system, and we have another 4-camera system.
Okay.
And we use that. 2 of our cameras have audio, so we're actually recording audio on 2 cameras constantly too. That's running in whichever particular room that we put them in.
Okay. Okay. Tell me about your best investigation, your scariest investigation.
Okay, the scariest one. Well, the one that concerned me the most was here a few years ago. We did an investigation in private residence, and it turned out the evidence I was getting that I turned over to Destiny it seemed to be more demonic, non-human type entity.
Okay.
And that always worries me when I take a team in. I'm always concerned about the safety of my people.
Okay. So, well, what happened? What occurred that made you believe that the entity you were dealing with was demonic?
One thing was we were doing a session that night, and I was actually running the SP7 Spirit Box during that session, and I was listening to it, and Destiny would say something, and then I got over the Spirit Box, and we actually, recorded. I always record a session too with a digital recorder, and she would say, I'm going to find out who you are, and I got a voice that came over the Spirit Box, says, I'll tell my father.
Ah, okay. Did any follow-up to that one at all? I mean, was anything else said?
Some very bad language started coming across the Spirit Box.
Okay. Have you or any of your team ever actually seen a full-bodied apparition?
Yeah, I had a team member here a couple of years ago. It actually he says he came face to face with a shadow person during an investigation we were doing. And it scared the pants off of him at the time because he was still fairly new. And that was probably one of his first paranormal experiences, and he ended up being, a darn good investigator after that.
Has anybody ever been hurt on any of your investigations?
I've had investigators scratched during investigations. I had an investigator slapped across the face.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, any kind of time when things like that happen, that creates a whole lot of issues with what you're going to do with the person, how they react. But we're going to talk about that in just a second because we're about ready to take our next break. Folks, stay with us. This is Paranormal Stakeout with my guest tonight, Michael Fox. We'll be back right after these messages.
They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by Ellie Marzulli, UFO Disclosure, the 70-year cover-up exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now and receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to lamarzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net.
So I was watching the X Zone TV channel last night when I was abducted by aliens, and they kept repeating to me over and over again, simultv.com, simultv.com.
What's simultv.com?
That's what I asked them. They had it written on the side of their UFO.
How do you spell that?
UFO.
No, I mean simultv.com.
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 Right. simultv.com.
Interesting that you were abducted by aliens in a simultv.com UFO last night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember now last night I was awakened from a deep sleep. My great-grandmother was standing there. She said she come from the hereafter to tell me about simultv.com. She even spelled it out for me.
SIMULTV.com, sonny boy.
SIMULTV.com.
SIMULTV.com, sonny boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, you'll never guess what my psychic guru just told me.
SIMULTV.com.
Exactly. Are you guys psychic too?
Of course.
We all know about simultv.com. SIMULTV.com.
And welcome back, folks, for our last round with Michael Fox of Fox Family Paranormal Society. Michael, this hour's gone really, really quick, and I've only gotten through half the questions I wanted to ask you. I do want to remind everybody to check Mike's team out on Facebook at Fox Family Paranormal, FFPS. I'd also like to invite everybody to check out the terrific programming on the X Zone Broadcast Network. Just go to www.xzbn.net and check out all the great programming on the site. Also, I'd like to invite you to check out my website at either www.paranormalfbi.com or www.paranormalstakeout.com. Love to hear from you folks. Any questions, thoughts, or ideas that you might have out there. So reach out and say hello to me. Michael, in our last few minutes together, little interesting conversations there about stuff that has happened to your team and the evidence you've collected. One of the things that I'm really trying to spearhead I don't want to say uprising, but I'm trying to get people awake to it, is evidence. What we're doing with it, how we're collecting it, and what are we doing to use it to find out what these answers are. Is it truly the other side? Is it us? What sort of protocols do you use? You collect the evidence. In this particular case, you got a great EVP of something saying, I'll tell my father, I believe you said?
Yeah.
What do you do with the evidence once you collect it?
Well, I'll eventually, after I've clipped it, and shortened it to where you just hear the EVP, I will copy it off onto a disk or something so we have it. And then a lot of times I will cooperate with other teams across the country that we've gotten to know, and we'll share stuff like that. And sometimes we'll get stuff that we think's really cool, and we'll send it to somebody else that that I might really respect their opinion, and they'll listen to it and say, well, I ran it this way and I ran it this way and I can't explain it. You got something.
What are your thoughts on creating a bank that would be accessible to different investigators across the country, even the world, to compare with what they've gotten? What are your thoughts on that?
That would be awesome. I think that would be a fantastic thing to happen, and probably help bring a lot more unity between teams across the world.
I agree, and I am far from a genius, so I know for a fact I'm not the first one to come up with that idea. So why haven't we done that? Why, as a field, have we not done that yet?
Well, there's a lot of what I've noticed over the years. Some groups, there's a lot of jealousy among some paranormal teams. And
well, why?
I think
why is
that
the jealousy?
kind of hinders them.
Why is there jealousy out there?
Some teams seem to be doing better than others. I'm not concerned about, being on television or anything. I'm more concerned about helping, people that call me. So, that's no big deal. We've been called many times, for TV producers. We've never gone through with it because that's just not my interest. My interest is working the field and doing the paranormal and getting this research and collecting it, listening to it, talking to other paranormal investigators about it.
Well, I've talked to, I don't even know how many folks in our field over the last couple of years on this very show. And 201, they've all agreed with what you and I have just talked about, but we're still not any farther. And everybody talks about the egos, everybody talks about people wanting to be on TV, whatever, but we haven't moved forward. We haven't even really moved forward in the equipment that we used. So, what do you think, Michael Fox? What do you think it's going to take to move forward?
I think it's going to take, some effort from everybody to start communicating with each other and maybe getting a national group started.
Mm-hmm.
Even to the point if we have to run an election and let paranormal investigators vote who they want on this panel.
Okay. That would be interesting if it goes like the elections in some of our parts of the country. That ought to really be interesting.
Well, hopefully it'd do better than that.
Well, yeah, hopefully. There's got to be a common goal, and I hope in our discussion tonight, and those of you that are listening out there, we start coming together. And I've been talking for a while, and I'm working right now to put this structure together. I mean, I'm looking for standards and training in our field, as well as the ability for people to share information and come together as one. So that's my big vision, and whether hopefully I'll realize it in our lifetime. What's your future? What's in the future for you?
Well, I think my future is I would just like to keep networking with the teams that I work with across the country and the world. We're in contact with teams in Canada, and we're in contact with teams in Australia and England, and actually we've shared a lot of common knowledge back and forth and stuff. And I think that's a step forward in what we were just talking about.
I think it is, and I think that we need to come up with a way so that we, for example, while you could use different wording and you could say things different ways that best suits your personality and way to interview, but everybody should be having the same protocol to do an EVP session. Everybody should have a similar structure. And I use this description a lot, probably ad nauseum, is, if there's a homicide down here in Vero Beach, Florida that we're investigating, they're going to essentially, there's going to be some changes in the laws, maybe some changes in technique, but essentially the way you investigate a homicide in Vero Beach will be the same way you would in Eugene, Oregon, or up there in Georgia. And I think that's where we've got to get to, but, we got to, and I'm guilty of this too. We got to quit talking, and we actually have to do it. So that's kind of where I'd like to see things go. If you had your druthers, if you could pick one thing that you would change in how we do business today as a field, what would it be? And I know you've talked about togetherness and sharing, but more of a tactical or a technical way. What do you think we need to change the most?
I think what we need to change the most is some of the attitudes across the country and world with some of these teams that are doing paranormal. I think, if we can get everybody on the same page, that would be, the ideal thing.
And I agree. I mean, I think there's places for everyone. And I talk a lot about the mom and pop organizations out there. And there's a lot of small groups out there that do it on the weekends just for the fun of it. And hey, that's okay. But if we're going to progress further, we've got to, I'll probably raise some eyebrows with this concept, but we have to become more professional, and we have to take a more scientific approach. And we also have to stop being so single-minded about saying ghosts are this. The truth of the matter is we don't know yet what it is.
No, we don't.
And we've got to go where the evidence takes us. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Where do you see the future of Fox Family going? Do you see your kids keeping this? Are you going to retire anytime soon? Are the kids going to take over for you?
Well, I would hope they would someday, but right now I'm still going to go full force because I'm just so into helping people. I get more satisfaction when I have a client tell me, thank God you came and helped us.
Well, and helping, that's why I've spent my life as a cop doing the same thing, because helping folks. Yeah. And I just want to make sure we're going to do that. Now, what do you do for a living? What's your grown-up job, as I like to say?
Well, my grown-up job right now is I'm working in Atlanta. I work for a company that deals in products. I work in their warehouse. Mm-hmm. But before that, I was a corrections officer for almost 15 years in Missouri.
Ah, you remember the family. Okay. All right.
Yes.
I did not realize it. Okay.
Yeah, I have a degree in criminal justice.
Okay. Where'd you get that from?
University of Missouri.
Very good. Very, very, very good.
Yeah.
So, and Missouri is loaded with many places. Have you ever? What's the best place as we begin to wrap up? We've talked about a whole lot tonight, and this is a great way to end it. The best place you've ever investigated, the most active spot you've ever investigated.
That's an easy one, I can tell you. That was Old South Pittsburgh Hospital in Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
Okay. I'm familiar with it. I have not been there yet. Tell me why.
That hospital is the most active building I've ever been in. We did a 2-night sleepover investigation a couple of years ago there, and we saw and heard and experienced so much. We even got footage. One of our cameras during the night was picked up and then dropped and then picked up again.
Oh, okay. Did you guys get that recorded?
Yes.
Oh, outstanding, outstanding. Now, were you there as just your team, or were you there in conjunction with an event?
No, we were there just as our team.
Oh, that makes it even better. And you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we had the whole run of the hospital, all 3 floors.
My understanding now is that it has been temporarily closed for renovation, because I've heard many people down in our neck of the woods that it's not that far of a run for us. Well, you're in Georgia, so it's even shorter for you. But yeah, I've heard a lot about that place. And you consider it more. Any other famous places you've investigated besides South Pittsfield?
See, I did years ago. I did the Villisca Axe Murder House in Villisca, Iowa.
Okay.
Which I was a little disappointed in that place, but
I get a little
more.
Yeah, I get a little disappointed in a lot of places that open up for events at times. But hey, Michael, we are out of time, my friend. I really appreciate you spending time with us. Folks, thanks for being with us tonight on Paranormal Stakeout. We'll see you next week for the next edition, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you on the other side. Good night, all.
If you are looking for a safe, 0-calorie natural option to the harmful artificial sweeteners on the market today, Just Like Sugar is what you're looking for. Just Like Sugar is a wonderful natural alternative for those health-conscious people who choose a calorie-restricted diet with a great, pure, sweet flavor that tastes just like sugar. Just Like Sugar is a great natural option for people suffering from diabetes and may be useful in restricted diet programs where standard sugars are not allowed and does not cause a laxative effect of some other sweeteners. Just Like Sugar comprises a perfect blend of chicory root fiber, natural calcium, natural vitamin C, and Just Like Sugar's sweetness comes from the natural flavors from the peel of the orange. Just Like Sugar is a natural alternative to harmful artificial sweeteners and will change the way that you believe all natural sweetener products taste. Just Like Sugar is available at your local Whole Foods markets, Wild Oats markets, Henry's, Sun Harvest, and many other fine natural food stores in the U.S., Canada, and worldwide. They are here, and they've been here for thousands of years, making their presence known in the shadows. They might be seen by a lonely motorist on a deserted road late at night, or by a frightened and confused husband in the bedroom he is sharing with his wife. But who are they? What do they want? Why are they here? Perhaps most concerning, has the government been aware of their presence all along? The new book by Ellie Marzulli, UFO Disclosure, the 70-year cover-up exposed, delves into the world of UFOs. Can full disclosure be soon? Order now and receive a free hour and 37-minute DVD on the UFO phenomenon. UFOs are real. Get both the book and the DVD, a $40 value, for only $19.99. To order your book and DVD today, go to lamarzulli.net. That's LAMARZULLI.net.
You have heard of the X Zone? Now watch it on Simul TV, plus 500 video games, live TV channels, free video on demand, worldwide, and more. Does this sound like tomorrow's television? Well, it is, but you can have it today, right now. It is Simul TV. Simul TV offers what the others only wish they could provide. 15 exclusive channels like X-Zone, Sci-Fi, and Horror. We are worldwide. No other provider offers that. 500 built-in video games. No need to have an extra expensive system. We have them included. Free video on demand. Live streaming events from around the world. Interactive online network, and much more. Tomorrow's TV today. Simul TV. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not. You can have Simul TV today. Sign up at simultv.com. Do it today.